Hi everyone, it's Olivia from the King's Daughters. So before we get started, I just wanted to say that I have been driving in the car all day today, and we are now in Florida, me and my family, and excuse my appearance. I'm looking a little rough after like 7 hours in the car, but that's okay. Also, don't mind the change of scenery because I am in Florida, so I am not at my house and I am not in my usual place. So anyways, let's get started. So I have a couple verses that I wanted to talk about this week since the theme is fear. And the first one is John 14:27, and it says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid." So this one is especially important when talking about fear because it says that God gives us peace that surpasses all understanding, and I know that's another verse, but it just kind of talks about that and like relates back to that. And I think that that verse is very interesting because it says, "I do not give to you as the world gives." So the world can try and give you all the peace it wants, but it's never going to be the exact same peace that God gives you. You can try and give yourself all the peace that the world can give you, but it's never going to satisfy your need for God's heavenly peace. This verse also talks about not being afraid and not letting your heart be troubled, and I feel like that is very important because a lot of times we can kind of get wrapped up in what's going on in the world or what's going on in our lives especially, and I like how it says do not let your hearts be troubled because your heart should just be content and at peace and just trusting God wholeheartedly. I have one other verse, but this verse also says do not be afraid, and I like that because in the Bible it says do not be afraid 365 times. Okay, so just think about that for 1 second. Isn't it like insane how God knew that we would have 365 days in the year, and in the Bible it says that the words do not be afraid are in there 365 times, so one for each day of the year. Like, that just blows my mind that like God knew that he was going to have that happen before we even knew how many days there were going to be in the year, and that's just so crazy, man. Okay, so the second verse that I wanted to talk about with fear is Joshua 1:9, and this is a popular verse about fear and kind of not being afraid and trusting God, and it says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous, do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." So, not only does God say to not be afraid, but he also says to be strong and courageous because he is with us wherever we go. And I know that sounds weird, like he's always with us and he's with us wherever we go. But he's just always with us. Like, I can't even explain how incredible it is that God is just always with us, and just wherever we go, he's there. Like, we could go to the farthest place away that we can think of and he would still be there. Like, isn't that crazy? Not only does he tell us not to be afraid, but he also tells us not to be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. So don't be discouraged, don't be sad, don't be fearful, because God is going to be with you wherever you are. And this is what God has commanded us to do. And if God commands us to do something, don't you think we should do it? Like, we shouldn't be afraid because he's told us not to be. He's told us 365 times, one for each day and much more, to not be afraid. God gives us peace that surpasses all understanding, and he tells us to be strong and courageous. So why should we have any reason to fear? God is on our side. God is all powerful, so we should never have to be afraid. I remember when I was younger, I think I was like 10 or 11, I went through a time where I was very, very afraid of everything. Like, anything you could think of, I was afraid of it. Like, anything. It was really bad. But I had people around me who helped me through it, and they would always tell me that like God is holding the entire universe in the palm of his hands, and I feel like somehow that was somewhat scary to know that the entire universe was in the palm of his hand, but at the same time that was so comforting because I just know that we have such a big and gracious, good God, and that is just like the most comforting thing because he's with us wherever we go and we don't have to be afraid anymore. Okay, so I hope you guys had an excellent week, and I hope you're having an excellent week coming up. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're having a great hour. I hope you had a great time watching this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you got something out of this video, and if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up because it's a positive thing. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next Saturday. Bye!